shifts in energetic sovereignty, sacred boundaries in relational prosperity. Quantum. Opening your mind remembers the original covenant of dignity, your body restores it, and your heart expands it across every relationship you touch. The field responds to a sovereign signal. Today, you choose to send it. Daisenko, Section 1. Deep Gaze, the Lighthouse and the Sea. Every soul arrives with a blueprint of radiance. That blueprint includes the art of saying yes with all your cells and the grace of saying no with all your breath. Without boundaries, the sea invades the lighthouse and the fire dims. With sacred boundaries, the lighthouse illumines the sea and both are transformed. Energetic sovereignty is the choreography between inner authority and outer connection. It is not isolation, it is precision. It is the courage to define the edge where your essence breathes most freely and the devotion to protect that breath. Archetypes awaken in this dance. The warrior guards the threshold with clarity and compassion. The healer holds the bowl, where hurt can dissolve into wisdom. The sovereign sits on the inner throne, not to dominate, but to consecrate the space where love becomes lawful. The mystic listens to the subtle tides, and discerns which currents nourish and which deplete. Together they weave a life where intimacy does not require sacrifice of self, and individuality does not require exile from others. The journey of the soul favors congruence. Energy that leaks through unspoken resentments becomes fatigue. Energy that hardens into rigid walls becomes loneliness. Energetic sovereignty walks the middle path. It is permeability with intelligence. It is the velvet rope that protects the art gallery of your heart. It is the living gate that opens for truth and closes for distortion. Where inner law is honored, prosperity follows. Prosperity in this text means a relational ecosystem where time, attention, affection, creativity, and material resources circulate with fairness and joy. When your no means no and your yes means yes, the universe routes opportunities that match your signal. Your boundaries become a tuning fork. Your aura becomes a contract. Section 2. Scientific and Psychological Foundations. Transpersonal psychology frames sovereignty as alignment with a deeper self that transcends the personality while honoring it. Humanistic psychology frames sovereignty as congruence and unconditional positive regard beginning with oneself. Both perspectives converge in a simple principle: authenticity organizes energy efficiently. Neuroplasticity confirms that repeated states become traits. Each time you enact a boundary with calm breath and steady voice, your nervous system encodes a map of safety. The amygdala learns that clarity is not danger. The prefrontal cortex learns to speak for your values even when old patterns tug at your tongue. Mirror neurons respond in your relationships. Others begin to self-organize around the stable signal you send. Language becomes a sculptor of reality. In NLP, frames precede behavior. A frame like "I must please to belong" narrows the field and drains vitality. A frame like "my truth" invites the exact relationships meant for my evolution, widens the field, and concentrates vitality. Anchors stabilize this frame in the body. A hand on the heart and a slow exhale can become an anchor for sovereign speech. A particular phrase can become a switch that lights the corridor from fear to presence. Emotion carries intelligence. Humanistic practice invites full contact without collapse. Anger becomes boundary energy. Sadness becomes release energy. Fear becomes preparation energy. Joy becomes expansion energy. Each emotion supports sovereignty when named, owned, and channeled. Transpersonal maps add the language of archetypes and subtle energies. The solar plexus field holds will and self-definition. The heart field carries coherence. The throat field carries truth. When will, heart, and truth harmonize, boundaries arise as music rather than metal. People feel them as kindness and precision, not punishment. Your field stops consenting to entanglements that ask you to shrink. Your biology thanks you with clearer sleep, steadier digestion, and a relaxed jaw. A living example clarifies the process. Consider an artist who habitually says yes to last-minute requests and then feels drained and resentful. By naming the pattern, anchoring breath before responding, and using a stable boundary script, the artist restores energy. Over several weeks, clients adapt to the new cadence. The artist's calendar reflects quality over panic. Revenue stabilizes because the signal stabilizes. This is relational prosperity born from inner law. Thus, Section 3. Applied biodecoding, the body as boundary ledger. The body records every treaty you sign with your energy. Tight shoulders often carry the weight of prolonged overgiving. A constricted throat often marks a history of silenced truth. A sensitive gut often signals territory violations and anticipatory vigilance. These are not final verdicts, they are love letters asking for renegotiation. Biodecoding reads symptom clusters as messages. The message is not blame, the message is guidance. Neck and shoulders. Theme of carrying burdens that do not belong to you. Pathway of liberation includes delegating tasks, clarifying roles, and practicing the physical gesture of placing phantom burdens down and stepping back 2 feet before speaking. Jaw and teeth. Theme of withheld words and grinding through conflict in silence. Pathway of liberation includes nightly self-permission scripts, warm compresses, gentle humming to release mandibular tension, and daytime microboundary phrases that release pressure before it hardens. Solar plexus and stomach. Theme of identity and territory. Pathway includes affirmations anchored to breath, mindful eating rituals that begin with a boundary blessing, and calendar hygiene that places digestion windows free of calls or negotiations. Skin and rashes. Theme of contact boundaries. Pathway includes auditing sensory environments, reducing overstimulation, and creating a touch consent ritual in intimate relationships where both partners practice asking and receiving with precision. A simple 3-step biodecoding route supports daily practice. 1. Name the tissue, name the tail. Place a hand where the body speaks. Name the organ or area. Name the relational theme. Example, solar plexus speaks of self-definition. 2. Change the micro-choice. Identify one small choice that repeats in that theme. Example, agreeing to unpaid extras without renegotiation. Replace it with one new micro-choice. Example, thank you for asking. Here is my rate for that addition. 3. Close the loop somatically. After new behavior, seal the change with breath, posture, and sensation. Stand taller, release the jaw, feel warmth spread. Tell the tissue the loop is closed for today. The body learns safety one completed loop at a time. Physical rituals accelerate learning. A boundary bath with Epsom salt becomes a container to rinse others' energy off your skin. A brief shaking practice releases sympathetic charge after a hard conversation. Walking barefoot on earth grounds your field after online interactions. The timeline matters. Old patterns unravel in spirals, not straight lines. The body appreciates consistency more than intensity. 5 minutes of daily boundary breath for 30 days reorganizes fascia and nervous pathways more profoundly than a single heroic session. Section 4. Quantum NLP Tools, Step-by-Step Reprogramming. The following tools use language and imagery to remap your inner code. Practice as a daily dojo. Consistency enacts sovereignty as a trait. 4.1 Sovereign Frame. Installation. Intention. Install the base frame that commands your field. Script. Place right hand on the solar plexus and left hand on the heart. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 8. State 3 times. My energy is my sacred jurisdiction. My yes aligns with my purpose. My number protects my purpose. Integration. Visualize a golden ring around your body expanding to arm's length. This ring is permeable to truth, impermeable to distortion. Anchor the image with a subtle thumb index touch. Use this gesture discreetly during difficult conversations. 4.2 The Sovereign Swish. Intention. Replace the reflex of automatic yes with the reflex of reflective pause. Process. 1. See a mental snapshot of a typical pressure moment. 2. Shrink the snapshot to a small dark image in the lower left of your inner field. 3. Create a bright image of you pausing, breathing, and speaking a clear response. Place it large and centered. 4. Swish the bright image over the dark one rapidly with an inner whoosh sound. 5. Repeat 5 to 7 times. Ku. Add the physical anchor of rolling the shoulders back once. The body joins the new pattern. Wows. 4.3 Boundary Language Matrix. Intention. Replace vague apologies with precise communication. Templates. 1. Appreciation plus boundary. Thank you for thinking of me. I am not available for that. 2. Redirect plus value. This does not fit my current focus. Here is what I can offer. 3. Renegotiation. I can continue if the scope and rate reflect this addition. 4. Delay to evaluate. I will review and respond by tomorrow at 10 a.m. Practice. Read the lines aloud until your throat remembers them. Record yourself and listen while walking to install cadence. 4.4 Somatic Calibration Protocol. Intention. Align the nervous system with the new boundary code. Steps. 1. Box breathing 448 while standing in mountain posture. 2 minutes of gentle shaking from feet to hands. 3. 1 minute of humming at the chest to increase vagal tone. 4. End with a forward fold, then roll up vertebra by vertebra into a tall stance. Signal. The body now recognizes boundary action as safety rather than threat. 4.5 Money Boundary Reset. Intention. Clarify agreements where time and value circulate. Process. 1. Map every recurring request that lacks a clear rate. 2. Write the clean rate and terms for each. 3. Send one clarifying message per day, not all at once, to allow your system to acclimate. 4. Celebrate each completed message with a 2-minute prosperity breath. Inhale counting the value you bring. Exhale counting the value you allow. 4.6 The Mirror Contract. Intention. Leverage mirror neurons for relational retraining. Ritual. Stand before a mirror. Lift your chin slightly. Speak. I honor my yes. I sanctify my number. I circulate value with elegance. Tap the sternum 3 times gently to punctuate the contract. Repeat morning and evening for 21 days. Diary. Section 5. Spiritual perspective and Christic consciousness that remembers unity, breeds boundaries as benevolence. Christic consciousness carries a tone of unconditional love that does not collapse into permissiveness. Love without clarity dissolves into chaos. Clarity without love freezes into judgment. The living Christic tone marries clarity and love as a single chord. Buddhist emptiness offers a companion insight. Identity is real as a function, empty as a fixed thing. Boundaries therefore live as skillful means. They are not rigid fences. They are wise currents in an indivisible ocean. Each time you say no from love, you affirm the dignity of both beings. Each time you say yes from alignment, you affirm trust in the intelligence that choreographs all paths. Psychomagic contributes symbolic action to cross the threshold. A small coronation ritual before important conversations installs the sovereign archetype in muscle memory. A ribbon tied around the wrist during a negotiation reminds the hand to sign only from congruence. A pebble carried in the pocket becomes a tactile reminder that your ground is always present. The field responds to coherence. Coherence is the heart and brain in rhythmic harmony. When you breathe slowly and speak plainly, your field entrains others toward calm. You do not impose. You emit. You do not coerce. You declare. Christic consciousness declares that each being deserves a clean contract with life. Your boundary becomes a blessing that teaches the other how to meet you in truth. Relational prosperity flourishes in this light. Partnerships evolve into covenants where roles, timelines, and exchanges are explicit. Friendships ripen into gardens where humor, silence, and care are shared resources. Community becomes an organism where offerings and needs circulate with transparency. Spirituality meets logistics and the union births trust. Baukwanta. Section 6. Integrative Ritual. The 3 Rings of Sovereignty. A daily practice uniting mind, body, and spirit anchors the new code. This ritual requires 9 minutes. Perform it at the start of your workday or before any relational negotiation. Ring 1. Breath and frame. Stand with feet hip-width apart. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 8. Repeat for 3 rounds. Speak. My energy is my sacred jurisdiction. My clarity serves love. My actions serve truth. Visualize a golden ring around you at arm's length. Ring 2. Language and gesture. Practice the boundary language matrix lines once each, out loud. Pair each line with a gesture. Not available pairs with a soft palm facing down. Here is what I can offer: pairs with a gentle open palm sideways. Renegotiation pairs with a two-finger point to the heart, then forward. I will review pairs with a slow nod. Feel your throat as a resonant instrument rather than a tunnel of fear. Ring 3, somatic seal and offering. Perform the somatic calibration protocol steps. Place both hands on the heart and send a silent blessing to those you will interact with. Speak the decree. I circulate value with elegance. I honor cycles of giving and receiving. I choose relationships that honor the law of dignity. Close the ritual by touching the golden ring with your fingertips, as if closing a zipper of light behind you. Walk into your day with the ring present in your peripheral awareness. Closing elevation. The Master Seal, Challenge, and Activation Code. Master Axiom. Love becomes luminous when it chooses clarity. Clarity becomes holy when it carries love. Quantum challenge for the next 24 hours. Choose one relationship that needs a boundary edit. Send one clean message using the boundary language matrix, then perform the somatic seal to encode safety. Log how your body feels before and after. Honor the data your body gives you with one tangible adjustment to your calendar, your rate, or your availability. Activation code. Speak and breathe this code 3 times with hands over heart and solar plexus. Elohim Sophia Orion Ra. I stand in my sovereign light. I circulate value with elegance. I open to relational prosperity anchored in dignity. Walk forward as a lighthouse that loves the sea and remains on its rock. Your ring of gold shines. Your voice becomes clear water. Your presence invites truth to take a seat and stay. Con amor, Andrew.